Oh, what's Gucci? You too. Y'all see, we are all the way in the building. I'm talking about full effect, fully live, marvelous Bluntz. We are live today on Thursday. If you haven't already, y'all know, man, smash that subscribe button. Go crazy on that subscribe button, man. We appreciate the love, dog, that y'all are giving us, man. Especially on the Guardian stuff. We got a lot of comments. People loving the Guardian. Some people hating nerd culture. I'm gonna tag you. I'm gonna cut this in here so you know, because you hate every freaking Marvel film. I'm literally gonna set up a debate. I literally DM him and said, me and you are gonna set up a debate. Me and you gonna sit, me and you, nobody else. And we're gonna see why you hate Marvel so much. You're gonna have to explain why you hate Marvel. But we are here for Marvelous Blunts. We are here for some Marvel love tonight, but we are full house here. We're gonna go through everybody. Then we're gonna start with Coons. What's going on?
Not much. I'm good, man. How everybody?
Good. Everybody's Gucci, I would hope.
Yes, sir.
Torian, what's good?
I am great. I'm ready to finally discuss this movie. I can't believe it's been almost a week since we've seen it.
Dang, I didn't even think about that. Sheesh. Time flies. Even my weed man talking about his health bad. So, bro, y'all gotta take time seriously. Like, I was shocked when he told me that today. I'm like, you all right? I was like, you good? I was like, concerned. Like, hold up, bro, you good? He's like, nah, just getting older. I was like, okay, man. But
keep it coming though.
No. Speaking of keeping it coming, Tom, what's good? Tom, what's good?
Man, it was good, y'all. I'm so glad to talk about Guardians. So I was waiting, man. I've been talking about it all day at work. I mean, all week at work. So me and my executive chef, he loved this. He was like kind of saying stuff. So he was super excited about it. So
okay,
Guardians. Everybody is loving Guardians, man.
It's the movie. Like, it's literally the movie right now.
Yeah.
Hey, shout out to your guys. And Alf, last but not least, what's good? This Darth Alf.
What's happening, fellas? What's up with y'all? I'm glad to be back again. We had a good link up, even though we were spread all apart. We was there together. You know what I'm saying? So good little mission. So
no funny. Me and Torian was over there though. Like I say, Torian was sitting right on the other side. Torian be hit. We send them tickets out. We gonna at least sit up, see the park because I'm gonna be talking my shit for sure. So
I never been to the theater too.
Yeah. And Kills was on the same row, but he was like more to the far right of us. Like it was like a few seats in between us, but he was on the same row. And I know Tone was in the back. Alpha, was you? You was in the front?
Yeah. Look, y'all, I'm old, so I need a little bit to be a little closer. Y'all was always back there. I said, I need to be right here on the screen. You know what I mean?
No, I could definitely dig that, man. But y'all know, man, we are here, man. We literally here to talk about Guardians, man. Y'all may have saw it. If you haven't already, you may have saw our minute review. I gave my spoiler review, but I've been waiting all week to talk about this movie. I mean, we had a lot to say in the theater, probably way more to say, but we kind of just chatted up, but we just gonna go through everybody and just give you a little brief what you thought about the movie, you know what I'm saying, after it's being a weekend, things like that. So I'm just gonna go random and we're going to let's see, not me, not yet. We definitely gonna get Senior Star-Lord himself right in the building.
Yes, sir.
Let's get
in your bag, man.
All right. Let me go ahead and crack my knuckles right quick. Let me just say this: Guardians is like the best film Marvel has put out in some recent times, at least for me. And bearing that this is like the last of like the OGs, I guess, after Fury. Well, basically this is like the last team-up movie that we're gonna see for a while, I think. And I just overall Guardians met my expectations. I actually exceeded my expectations. I'm so glad Star-Lord didn't die because the trailer is definitely hinted at him dying. So I'm glad that didn't happen. The scenes, like I was saying earlier, my chef, he saw it in 3D. I think he saw it in 4D, I think. And he said it was beautiful, so I kind of want to see it in 4D now. I think if I was to go back a second time, I would go see it like in a more premium format. But overall, I thought the presentation was great. The music wasn't as popping as like the first one.
Yeah,
the first one had that spark to it.
Yeah,
the second one had a spark to it too.
More orchestra stuff. Not
not the actual, but the actual music of the movie, like the actual music, not the soundtrack. but the actual, like the music that's in the movie, the soundtrack was good too. But the actual music from the actual artist, I thought it was kind of like maybe the weakest of the three because I usually get the Guardians music playlist. So I like the music. I like Rocket. I didn't like my only thing with Guardians. Okay, my only thing with Guardians, I did not like that Rocket was out for 2/3 of the movie. And that hit me out. That hit me Monday. I was like, as I was talking and going over it with some people, they was like, "Yeah, man, Rocket was out 2.5, almost half the movie." I'm like, you know what? It is right, but we've seen him through flashbacks and stuff. But I feel like
the flashbacks make this your go. I'm
no,
you gotta say
no. It's your go.
all right, and I'm about to finish up though real fast. I think that the Rocket, not the Rocket, but the High Evolutionary. I thought he could have had more scenes to showcase, a little bit more of his background. Of course, you can't show, but I think that we saw enough of the Guardians that he could have had a little bit more time on screen to flesh out his story even just a little bit. See how he did, get those powers of what he went through the train, because he was right strong in that jump. Like he was right like OC Stride. Yeah, like I never seen him like portrayed in I guess in like media on TV or whatever that often. So I read
in the comics he's very powerful.
Yeah, like psionic powerful. I did like his hint when another thing I love about Guardians, that nowhere, like I was telling us in the minute review, nowhere felt like an actual place. You know what I'm saying? Like I love how nowhere feels like actual home. And I like that dig that the High Evolutionary gave where you said get that old dig up. So he acknowledged that nowhere was a god at one point. I did like that little dig, you know what I'm saying? Because that was cool. It was like they literally bought a whole battleship to fight this dude. They bought a whole planet from another part of the galaxy to come, help them out. That's kind of crazy if you think about it. Like they literally teleported a fucking celestial head across the galaxy to come help them take on this dude. So that was pretty cool. But overall, Guardians, man, it was lit, man. The Gamora stuff, not really mad about. They get back together. All right, I'm kind of over that because the movie, that time in between Infinity War and this movie, like the little relationship and stuff. It didn't really hit like it. I think it would have. Yeah, man, just overall, Guardian was a good time. James Gunn did a great job. Everybody did a great job because this is clearly the last hurrah for the team itself. Last thing, Warlock presentation, I liked it, but he was used for mostly comedic relief. But he is super powerful. But they explained in the movie, because I guess they kind of knew that people were gonna be talking about Warlock a lot. They explained in the movie that he woke him up early. He's not even at his maximum. They woke him up early.
I think that was a Disney thing. Like I think James Gunn had to retcon what was going on, because I think Disney was like, yeah, put Warlock in here, but it's just like for what? And then it's just like, all right, I'm gonna try to make it work. Because when was Warlock introduced?
He was introduced in the second Guardians, but he was in the cutscene. Remember the cradle? He was like, he cracked the cradle open, and he's still a baby. He's technically still a baby. Like Warlock is still a baby right now. So I don't like the new iteration of the Guardians. I don't really care too much about that. The the teaser scene with Star-Lord returning, I'm glad to get him his title. So now he's the legendary Star-Lord. That was pretty cool. They gave him his title. Fuck with that shit. And it's a wrap, man. Guardians 3, Liddy, I will be purchasing that hard copy. Definitely can't wait for that. So I definitely they went out swinging. And shout out Pratt, shout out the whole Guardians crew, man, because that series in itself, inside the the series like Ant-Man and the trilogies or whatever, it's right up there, man. They literally took D heroes and elevated them to A status. B A status, literally. Nobody cared about the Guardians until they brought them out of fucking nowhere.
Facts.
Normal people don't.
Wow.
Literally. That's the Guardians, guys. They can't tell you. So that's just though. I was just, I'm just happy. So that's my favorite team, and that's my spiel about Guardians. Sorry, that was a little long, but I definitely.
I'm glad you get that out, man, because I feel like it deserves that praise, man. So we'll go.
Rocket, Bradley Cooper, did his thing. Like Rocket, I really felt like Rocket was like here. I mean, I'm not mad about not getting a Groot story. I don't really care about Groot. He's a treat. He's a tree.
So, it's crazy you said something real quick about Groot, and I'm not gonna take. I got this from somebody on. I think it was Screen Crush. I think I was watching it, and this is just like a thought that he had said. I think he heard it from somebody else, and he was saying like how that moment where Groot said "I love you," spoiler. They were just letting us actually hear what Groot's audio. You know what I'm saying? Like it wasn't like him actually saying "I love you," but it's what I sound like.
Yeah, I got that same take, but I let you know what I'm saying.
No, I was like, when I thought about that, I was like, yo, that's pretty deep right there. That's what James Gunn was going for.
Yeah, I can see it because of how they showcase how Gamora was finally able to hear him. It's like you growing with him and being connected to him, so you can know what he's saying. Since she was so devoid and so like not accepting of who he was and the connection.
That's how Star-Lord was at first. That's how he was at first. He didn't rock with Groot at first.
Yeah. I also liked how I like the curse in the movie. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna say I did not expect so much curse. Get the fuck in the car. I was like, yeah.
Close the fucking door.
Because open the fucking
door. Because like they allowed them to have they allowed them to have that. They allowed him to have that one F bomb in there, and that
F bomb worked though. That's Joe. I looked at I was like, hey, bro, get the fuck in the car, bro. He was mad as shit. Though. I was like, yeah.
The fucking door.
Did you say open the fucking door?
No, because he said open the fucking door.
Open the fucking door, bro.
I locked it. She was like, "What do I do now?" And he's like, "Open the fucking door." Like literally, answer. Like, I was like, I would say that. Like, open the.
Yes, yeah, I would say that.
100%.
That shit was funny as shit. So definitely one of the best movies.
F-bomb in Disney. We're gonna come back around for the score though.
Yeah.
Coach, you were adding on to something that Tom. Oh, okay, never mind. Let me see something here. Star-Lord power. But you said you were adding on something to that something that Tom was saying, but you can give your spiel too.
Yeah, so first off, I enjoyed the movie a lot. Like, I know you said we're gonna get ratings later. I'm gonna just say off top, like,
do your thing.
This movie flawless, like 10 out of 10. It hit on every level. The writing was there. It's a good story, beginning, middle, end. The emotional components, I did not expect it on this level. And the way that they displayed it in different ways, like how they started off with Star-Lord being drunk, and like you could just tell the emotional weight it was putting on the team, especially when Nebula put him to bed and they was like, again, he's drunk again. You could just see the weight. And you could see how hyper focused he was on saving Rocket because he felt like I already lost someone that I love.
Right.
And if you think about his life, he lost a lot of people. So it's just like that scene where he was pretty much had him on the defibrillators or whatever he had him on, and he was just like, no, I'm not giving up. I felt that so much because I didn't cry during this movie, but right there, it's just like
almost.
I feel you. Like, I'm not giving up on my friend. Like, I'm not losing him. And I love the pacing of everything. Like, James Gunn has a way to hit you with an emotional scene and then still put a joke, but it's not corny. Like, it feels real. It feels natural. So I really like the movie. And when it comes to Rocket, I do feel like, he wasn't himself in the movie, like as far as what we know him as, but seeing his backstory, it was a heavy emotional component because when they first introduced them and like when you first heard them talk and the baby and when the child voice is like, damn, that shit cute. Like, it's like it hurts. Like, like, I mean, he didn't even know he was a raccoon. Like, the whole realization of like, damn, I'm a raccoon. Like, that was powerful in its own. It's just like, bro, like, I didn't think I could care about
a raccoon, eh?
Yeah, bro. Like, it just, this movie had everything. The fight scenes, like that hallway scene was crazy. Like,
the hallway scene remind me of the Black Widow jump. I mean, that first time,
it remind me of the Matrix or something. Like the Matrix,
bro. I just felt like everything. This movie wasn't missing anything. The jokes, the writing, everybody had their own moment, and it's a great story. Like it doesn't need, you don't, like, you can watch. I mean, of course you need some backstory, but like this movie on its own don't need nothing else to make it good. Like even the dog, like Cosmo, like that whole bad dog joke. I thought the bad dog joke was a little but it worked. Like that scene when they was playing poker and shit, it's just like, nah, that thing was fire. Like it paid off, and like I really like this movie a lot. 10 out of 10, man. Like,
hey, shout out, man. Hey, shout out to rating, man.
Hey, shout out to Yondu. We got the Yondu sighting too for the last. Yeah.
When Cracklin needed that inspiration and he saw Yondu right there.
Yondu.
I'm like, man, y'all rapping, and you gotta think about this. When you said the thing about Rocky, when you said, like, I heard you say something about, like, you know, you didn't mind he wasn't in the movie. I feel like if you really think about it, Rocky has been in endless movies, and finally we get a movie where you're like, this is why Rocky's here this whole fucking time.
Yeah,
this is why he's with the Avengers. They didn't leave Star-Lord. They didn't dust him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So I think. We're gonna do predictions later. Nah, man,
I do want to say I was watching this review, listening to this review, and they was talking about how the movie started and how it ended. Like how it started with like the little Sistine Chapel and the painting of Michelangelo. Well, not Michelangelo, but basically
we touched the fingers. God,
and it was the same thing with Adam Warlock because it was Adam touching God. Like I don't know if he thought about it that deep, but if it really is that deep, it's just like, nah, James Gunn fire, bro.
Disney tripping. For that.
Disney tripping, bro.
Well, Star-Lord did give up his godhood.
Well, it was another biblical reference, and then I don't know if anybody saw it, but it was the part at the end when they released all the animals. It was like Noah and the ark. Yeah, that was like I caught that instantly. I said that was a Noah and the ark reference of getting all the animals onto the ship, and the ship was the ark, and the animals were getting it before the flood. So I said that one stood out.
And the piggyback off Torian. I noticed that because I just recently watched again.
And I said they better get all them animals on there because you don't want them animal rights groups to give you a call, Disney.
Ain't James Gunn.
James Gunn, like they said, you better get them all on there.
He wrote him a letter and said thank you, like for what him actually represent animals in the movie. Like they actually wrote him a letter. So that's why I was like, I'm glad that worked out. But Kuhn said it was fire. We just gonna go right down the line. Boom, Torian.
I like that shirt.
First of all, disclaimer. Torian saw this for the first time with the gang.
Y'all.
He did not.
For once, I didn't see it ahead of time. So I said, I said I'm gonna start doing that going forward. Like whenever there's like a link up, I'm gonna start doing it and not seeing it ahead, even though the temptation is there.
Hey, look, y'all. We all know he worked for Disney. Don't let him throw y'all like that.
You gotta trick us. Look before Torian go. Torian just looking at me all shocked, like, wow, that happened. I'm like, in my head, I was like, you don't seem too excited for that part. But nah, do your thing, Torian. What did you think of that joint?
But nah, I really, really did enjoy this. And let me tell you, this was probably one of the hardest movies for me to avoid spoilers on because I follow people who do like movie reviews. So I was like getting to the point where I couldn't even click on my subscription page because I just thought I was going to get spoiled by something. But luckily I wasn't able to get spoiled by anything. I even put it in the group chat and said I almost got spoiled by something. I said, thank God that it didn't spoil anything for me. But I really did enjoy this movie. And like I was telling y'all at the theaters, I can see why they waited until the third and last movie to do Rocket's story because his story is so dark and they came in so light and so like lighthearted. And I'm glad they waited until the end in order to do it. His backstory was a huge payoff for the entire series when you think about it in hindsight. And when I did my review, I had put into the title, I said Rocket is the heart and soul of the team. Because when you think about it, everybody was rallying around him to try to save him. Like every mission they did in this movie was to save him. And I'm glad that even though we didn't get him in real time, we got his backstory in between. And it was like I said, it was a very dark and sad backstory. And it was so sad because, he was there, he had made friends and then they all got killed like all at one time. Like if anything, I'm going to be like, I didn't shed a tear, but I'm going to be honest. it was right there. It was sitting right there on the line, like at that part right there. Huh?
On which part?
The part where they killed his friends.
Yeah,
I ain't gonna hold you though. Even when they was giving each other their names,
yeah,
I was just like, dang,
when they was giving each other, their names and
you
everything.
knew they gonna get off right there. And
it's like, it's crazy because like Rocket was so intelligent, like the high evolutionary made him too smart, and he realized that was an error, and he couldn't have that error go forward. He said he just wanted to create a hybrid race that wasn't too intelligent, but Rocket was too smart. And all those other animals were too smart, just like him. So they had to get rid of him. And when he came back and said they're going to kill all of us, he put that stuff together to make a whole card key.
Right.
With scraps.
I looked at Les. I said, nah, he that nigga. I said, nah, he that guy. I said, no, Rock is the GOAT for real. He's the GOAT. He's been doing it for a minute.
Yeah, he collected with scraps and made a card key to release all of them, and all of a sudden they came in. But then that part, it was another reference too. How many of y'all seen that movie Silence of the Lambs?
Briefly, but I never seen it.
The name.
Listen, I'm gonna just say right now, watch that movie. That movie is a classic film. You heard the character Hannibal Lecter, right?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I know.
Yeah. Hannibal Lecter, Silence of the Lambs.
That's basically what it is. Is this Hannibal Lecter eating people or something? That's basically what it is.
Yes. Yeah. It's a play off of Cannibal. Like Hannibal the Cannibal. That's what they call him. But the reason why I said that is because it's a scene in the movie Silence of the Lambs where one of the bad characters in the movie, because it's two of them, has a victim down in a well, and the woman starts screaming, and the character at the top of the well that puts her there starts imitating her screaming. And when I looked at the scene where Rocket is crying out and then High Evolution mimics that, I said that's a Silence of the Lambs reference. So y'all need to watch the movie.
I need to watch
that to understand. I'm telling you, that movie is like a mixture of genres.
I thought you can see why annoying.
You can see if you watch the movie, you'll see. Oh, I see what Torian was talking about. But that part when Rocket went crazy and was scratching his face up,
he did it to his face.
Yeah, I was like, so that's why why his face looks like a mask, because he basically carved his face up.
Yep.
But yeah, I like the whole like I said, I would say like the weaker part for me was Adam Warlock, but like Tone said, I'm glad they explained that he wasn't done being created. He still had the mentality of a child while looking like an adult. Even though the one scene that I did say that I liked him in was when he was trying to fly to save his mother. That sound effect that they used to have him fly was a nice sound effect that they used.
It reminded me of Man of Steel. It reminded me of Man of Steel when Zod threatened Superman mother. I like it. I like Warlock's flight too. I meant to say that.
Yeah, the way his flight looked dope. I did like how his flight looked. I like, listen, I had said this when we was in the theater. That one shot hallway scene was flawless. I said finally we have a scene where the whole team comes together and they take out their ops. Like that was it was all one shot. The part that got me though, and Pav, you was like, your reaction was priceless because I was right there and I heard it. But the part where they were fighting and they knocked Nebula's head all the way back, and she was like this and kept on shooting. I said that was dope. That was dope right then. I said the way they were maneuvering and how they were all working together. I always liked how they do the one shot thing. They even had Mantis in there kicking ass. She wasn't just doing the thing of just touching, her power of touching people and making them do certain things, but she was actually in there fighting too. I like the scene where they was inside of that factory. I don't know if there was a factory where they was where they was trying to get that information, and finally the
eye, like the thing that the living organism.
Yeah, it's a living planet.
Yeah, I like that they had Gamora actually be Gamora in this, because I feel like in the first couple of films, in the first couple of films they kind of toned her down a little bit, but in this one, this version of her was a savage. Like she wasn't holding no punch. She's like, "Look, we taking too long." I'm like, "Look, we got to get this. We got to get this. I'm gonna blow your head off." And she would have did it too. Like she was all for it, even though she, of course, doesn't remember anything, because this is a whole different version of it. And I'm glad they didn't do the cliche thing of saying, "Oh, I remember. Oh, something just clicked and something just triggered. Now I remember." Yeah, I'm glad they didn't do that. I'm glad they kept it right there. And finally, after all of that happened, at the end, with Rocket after all these films of him being called all these different names and him, reacting in a certain way. He finally came to embrace his identity when he was talking to the High Evolutionary. He says, "I'm Rocket the Raccoon, and I'm a guardian of the galaxy." That moment right there was fire. That one line right there was fire for me. And that was right before Gamora had killed the High Evolutionary. They pulled his mask off. That was brutal. Like, he looked like Harvey Two-Face in the Dark Knight. Like, I was actually amazed they actually showed that, because I thought they were just going to
I thought they would pull away from the screen.
I thought they was going to pull away from it. I was like, are they going to show it? And they sure
they showed him talking and all that. It looked like
he was still talking, like half dead.
Like, that was hard to watch a little bit, for sure.
Yeah, so you can tell that, like, they really went all out. And also, I said in this movie, everybody had an MVP moment. And like I said, Kraglin had his when he saw Yondu, and he finally got the whistle right to take out all those things with the arrow. And even Cosmo had the MVP moment of using her telekinesis to hold the ships together. And that had to be hard because, we know that Cosmo has telekinetic powers, but they only briefly show it. But this one, they had to use all their power to hold those two heavy ships together, to get all those kids off, and then get all those animals off. And then, it was 2 moments we thought we lost Rocket because he flatlined. I was like, wow, they actually did it. I was like, they actually killed him off. And then they were saying, no, your work here is not done yet. So we're gonna send you back because you still got some work that has to be done. It's almost like he was
in the upper room.
Yeah, he went to the upper room. Yes, he went to the upper room with all the little animals in the sky. And then when we thought we were gonna lose Star-Lord, when his tether didn't make it all the way back, and we thought he was gonna get frozen in space. And then when I saw the hand, I would say that was the one redeemable quality that Adam Warlock had. They had to give him something because they pretty much kind of wasted his character up until that point. So to have him go out there and save Star-Lord and bring him back was good. And I like how they all had that little like when they brought him back and the whole team kind of gathered around him to hug him. Adam Warlock kind of like looking around and it's like, okay, let me come on in and just like kind of come on in. They kind of close it in. And I like that. And I like that they also didn't have Gamora join in because she's still it's kind of like standoffish. Even though you can tell she wanted to, but I'm glad they didn't have her do it. So, but yeah, all in all, I really did enjoy this movie, and shout out to Rocket now being the new team leader. I mean, who else are you going to like? Who else would you get? So I think that's dope. But all in all, I really did enjoy this movie. This is like a film that a lot of people was not expecting to be this good, considering the type of movie
I didn't expect the whole series to be good.
This is like like I said, it's the type of movie that you don't expect. You kind of know what you're going to get. Not with this one. They said, we're gonna get you with this one, and they definitely did. But I really enjoyed it, and this is the last one. This is a good way to end off their story. They're going their own separate ways, and I'm sure they're definitely going to show up again, most likely in maybe Secret Wars or something like that. So this is not going to be the end of seeing them, but it's going to be like the end of this run.
Oh yeah, most definitely, man. Hey, shout out to Tori, man. Hey, we got some good things kind of saying about Guardians now, and we gonna go ahead. My guy Alf, what it do? Alf was in the front. He definitely saw everything.
He saw every pixel.
I ain't missed nothing, y'all. Nah, I ain't gonna lie. Leaving the theater, whenever we was all talking, like I had to even really sit there for a minute because it was really honestly the first Marvel MCU movie that I had to really process shit. You know what I'm saying? Just listening to y'all explaining, like everybody picking up different parts of stuff that stuck out to them, and I thought that was really dope. First of all, I want to shout out James Gunn because just like we talked before, just the consistency through all three movies at a high level. And being consistent, it was crazy, and to end it like this was wild. So my little synopsis is kind of loaded, but I'm gonna kind of go in order. When I came into the movie, I really wanted to see how my focus was really going to see how Nebula and Rocket's relationship was, because I think it was either Torian or Tone that spoke on it when they were back in Infinity War, because they were only two left out the Guardians, and you could clearly tell that Endgame. I'm sorry, that there was just them two that had a real relationship together. Like when they in the beginning of the movie, it was Nebula and Rocket holding hands in the beginning, so they were really all that they had. So I really wanted to see how those two meshed throughout the movie, but I really liked how Nebula's growth throughout the movie, how it grew. In the beginning, I think it was Adam Warlock threw an arrow through her heart, and you could see throughout the whole movie and previous movies that she really don't have a heart. You know what I mean? That was everybody's main little problem with her, that she wasn't empathetic to what was going on. She was just kind of like there just to hold shit down. And at the end, of course, you know, she was accepted by everybody, and she showed she was really sympathetic to everybody. Somebody spoke about the tear moment. To be honest, for me, it wasn't really the animals dying. That was important too. To me, it was really the part where Rocket was telling, you know, all his friends, "Oh, we're gonna go see the sky. We're gonna go on a rock. We're gonna fly." And then what was the villain's name again? I'm sorry.
The High Evolutionary.
When he was sitting on his lap, and High Evolutionary was like, what the fuck, you ain't going nowhere. Like you done." And that shit, I was damn, you know what I'm saying? And then,
can we just say before Alf goes any further, that the High Evolutionary is one of the best villains that we've seen in the MCU.
Yeah, you know what?
Yes, 100% agree.
Yes.
Yeah, like he was a psycho, a sicko,
he was
a
always
sociopath.
Yelling.
He was like all the dark negative, all the dark negative things you could think of.
Yeah, that scene when he kirked, when the lady was like, "For God's sake," and he was like, "There is no God."
He said, "There is no God."
Hey,
and then when he saw they all turned on him, and he said, "Ah!"
But he killed everybody
and killed everybody.
Hey, that was I agree
he
with
probably
him. That
almost killed himself in the process, but he didn't care.
Vicious scene.
I completely agree. I like when my villains have consistency. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was consistent throughout the whole movie. Like, you know what I mean? And he was on a mission.
Actually, Guardians as a whole, their villains were very good. As a whole, they did.
Yeah, definitely. Ronan too. I fuck with Ronan.
Yeah.
And that fight scene, perfect. I think one of my favorite fight scenes in all MCU got to be the Daredevil hallway scene, and that's right up there with it. This is 1A, 1B. Yes, 1A, 1B. It even, I'm gonna even say the Loki scene when they were running through, you know what I mean, that planet that was exploding. That was right. It's hard as shit to do in that one take. And then just to piggyback off of Torian, that I remember Thanos was talking about Gamora when he said that she was the most dangerous woman on the planet. And in this movie, she definitely showed that shit, especially in that hallway scene when she came through with the katana and tore his ass up. That was perfect. And this is probably one of a very high ranked MCU movie in my opinion, definitely. Oh, and I'm sorry, last thing. I love how I know everybody spoke about how everybody got at the end of the movie, everybody got a purpose. Drax got his ability to be a father again after losing his daughter and his wife. Star-Lord, it's to be honest with you, it kind of gives me like a Wizard of Oz feel. Like Star-Lord got to go back home. Nebula, she got a heart, you know what I mean? Even Mantis, she got courage. She, you know what I mean? You know how hard it is to break away from your family and find your own, you know what I mean? Who else? Shit.
That's
Rocket,
that's a great point.
Yeah, it kind of gives you that Wizard of Oz feel. Even going back to the second one as Ego being kind of like that Oz figure, you know what I mean? So I love how everybody got a purpose at the end of that movie. It was beautiful.
Hey man, my boy. I'm gonna break this. We got Now Marvel got us in this thing into the my life. I'm like, dang, it's some loose things. I gotta get the team back together. I was like, this is crazy, but man, y'all know I'm definitely happy to hear that. I mean, me and Kuntz briefly talked about this before everybody got on camera. We just been talking about so much bad shit with Marvel, bro. Like,
it's a breath of fresh air.
Like it's just been bad, man. And not saying I didn't expect the Guardians to be bad or anything, but I was just like, I'm not gonna hold my breath, bro. Like they crush Ant-Man. Who's next? Like who they lining up next? And man, I'm gonna put some respect. Let's just go ahead and say this now. I'm gonna put some respect on James Gunn's name. Real talk. They gotta put respect on his name, bro. Like
100%.
He's been making movies. I don't know if y'all hip. He made like what is that joint? What is that zombie joint he made? The first time I ever saw his name. It was an old zombie movie. They were in a mall. What was this movie? It was
Dawn of the Dead.
Yes, he did Dawn of the Dead. That was like one of the first times I ever saw James Gunn's name. And so when I saw, like, you know, he's done other shit. He did like Brightburn and stuff like that. I'm like, this dude dope or whatever. And then I saw Suicide Squad. I thought that was the worst movie he ever did. I was trash. So I was kind of like on the fence with him. But after Peacemaker and then seeing this, I'm like, nah, bro, got it. Like, he's different. You know what I'm saying? I really like I know everybody may have noticed. I like the fact that they did the intro with the Guardians intro. You know what I'm saying? Like with all the Guardians, they showed their little flash, like for the Marvel thing, and you know they let you know like this is their movie. You know what I'm saying? Like this is their time. This is the show. Like this is their movie, and I really did like that. I like the big turnout in the theater. I feel like we had more people in the theater. Like the last couple times, it's been like, okay, you know what I'm saying? Like people been in there, but like people were actually in there. So that
it was a lot of people in there. Like,
yeah,
it was been almost sold out. Like it was a lot of people there.
Man, it was so dope, bro. I was like, okay, cool. I rock with that. And just realizing like how the Guardians are really so like the big piece to the MCU for real. You know what I'm saying? Like they brought so much to the MCU if you really think about it. Like all that Infinity Stone stuff was like in their movie. And when I remember I didn't see the first one first, I saw the second one first. So I was like telling Les, man, the second one, watching the first one, I'm just shit talking because I didn't even see it. You know what I'm saying? And she was like, no, let's watch it. And I watched that jump. I'm like, oh, so the Infinity War and connect boo bop. I'm like, so when you realize the importance, they actually brought Marvel into the cosmic realm for real. You know what I'm saying? Like, and James Gunn just took that and ran with it. And I feel like Quantum Mania, all the little space stuff they tries to copy what the Guardians did, and they can't do it right because James Gunn got the sauce. So the Guardians to the MCU, because like even Nebula, when you were talking about how they were all like, man, this is my friend. She like, hold up. Gamora was going on Rocket. She was like, chill out. This rodent made my arm. You know what I'm saying? Like that cannon, she was that. I'm like, are they still in Stark Tech? Who's controlling Stark Tech now?
Hey, no bullshit. I was like, damn, he got nanotech.
Pepper.
He got nanotech. But Pepper Potts is in charge.
Now glasses, he probably giving out that too.
I forgot about the glasses.
So when I seen her step up for him, that like y'all said, they really love Rocking. As much as he give everybody a hard time, he really means good because he been through some shit. So he like, I'm telling you this. I've got the brains of millions of people. I'm smart, y'all. You know what I'm saying? I know what I'm doing, and I'm trying to help y'all because look, when everybody got snapped, you know who when on Endgame, who was Black Widow talking to on the thing? Rocket,
yeah.
He was in the
even Thor said it. He said this rabbit is clearly the leader.
But when Thor was talking up, when they was supposed to go get the thing, he had to smack Thor. He was like, "What are you doing?" Smack Thor and get it together. So this thing, I say how Rocket, how he really ties everybody together for real, and so smart. You dig what I'm saying? He's so smart. He tore the high evolutionary face. They basically put a black man's his face skin on an Iron Man mask. He's like literally taking
That shit look like RoboCop, bro.
I was like,
nah, for real.
It was excellent, dog. So shout out to, like y'all said, all the Guardians. Everybody got their just due, but I'm gonna just give Mantis and Drax a lot of credit, man. They were really good with the comedic part. It wasn't corny. I'm talking about. I actually was laughing at Drax and Mantis, like laughing. Like I'm like, oh, they funny. Like they funny together. And
I'm glad they did that. I'm glad that we got the holiday special. Because they kind of like when they had them together to go looking for Kevin Bacon. that would have been funny if they had Kevin Bacon in here. But I'm glad, that's because having them together in that holiday special lets you it's set up for their chemistry for this movie. Otherwise, people would have been like, how did they get so close like that? So it came basically off of that.
No, all right.
Green is blue, green is blue, blue is green, red is red.
Even like when you see in the holiday special, you're not even thinking, oh, this is why they're gonna really be pushing the story with their and stuff like that. Because basically everybody else was going through stuff. So, but Star-Lord, the GOAT, you know what I'm saying? I'm glad he went back to his grandfather. I'm glad he went back to his life, you know what I'm saying? Because that's some real stuff. Like he had family and his family lost him too. You feel me? So for him to go back, that makes him legendary. You feel what I'm saying? Gamora, I agree with Tone. He said that, he didn't like I didn't like
how they separate him like that.
He didn't like, excuse me, I'm lit. He did like they kind of separated. I like that Gamora went her separate way. You feel me? Like they gave him like, hey, that showed you life goes on. If anything, y'all don't realize that's a real message. Life will go on.
100%. 100%.
For you, but you got to keep going, bro, because he really wanted to be with her bad, and she just like, nah, like I'm not feeling you. You know what I'm saying? And they and he respected that. He let her go. And she really had a family with the Ravagers. You feel what I'm saying? She felt she was Thanos. She had felt like she was adopted her whole life, and now she finally had her closure. You feel what I'm saying? So I respected that. I'm just going through the characters real quick. Nebula, like I said, GOAT. She actually turned into Gamora. You know what I'm saying? Now the one that went off the cliff. You feel what I'm saying? So that was dope to see that twist. And also James Gunn, I got to give him credit for him not wanting. He didn't have nothing to do with Gamora dying in Infinity War. I hope everybody knows that. They just did that off the strength. You feel me? So for him to wrap her story up after they just killed off his character without really like getting his permission, big salute to him. You can tell they all really just fuck with this story, man. You can tell the actors mess with this story outside of the movie. You feel me? Because they acted their ass off. Like I'm talking about, and this James Gunn. I saw a lot of people saying James Gunn has to stop putting his people in his movies. Man, I'm putting my cousin in the movies. I'm putting everybody in the movies. You think I put my girl in the movie? And then that's how they, because they really like, dang, James Gunn really do what he want, real man shit. You feel me? I'm gonna put who I want.
100%.
I don't care I don't care who like it, and I'm gonna go take a bag from the ops, and I'm gonna run the ops. Now I'm your op. So who won't come with me? You feel me? James Gunn is diabolical. He's not dumb. You know what I'm saying? He's like, okay, I'm gonna do that.
Ain't Kraglin his brother?
Yeah.
Brother, Sean. So you see what I'm saying? I'm like, people saying he shouldn't have did that. I'm like, bro, why would I not have my wife in the movie and she gonna get a bag? She gonna get a bag? What you mean? She get her own bag. At least she's showing up. It's these joints on IG that just want to get flown out. At least think about it though. She has to work. She's not a bad actor. She didn't have a corny scene. Like she actually had a cool little scene. Split her all to the cut. So shout out to James Gunn, the area. They just touched all the corners, man. Like I said, I love the send-offs, but the only thing that's killing me with this is, like I said to Coons at the beginning, with the fact that what does Marvel have left in their hand? I see, like, we know their poker face. They've been exposed, and I know this is how they stand over here with their car. They're like, should we put out the Marvels? They're like, King, if I was them, I drop Loki season 2 like now. Fuck it. Drop it.
I agree.
Drop it. Just drop it. Forget it. I mean, like at this point,
get out of the way.
Just get out the way, because whatever gonna happen.
It's coming after Secret Invasion. Secret Invasion is coming in June, and then I think they said Loki season 2 is dropping in October. And I know why they did that, because they want Loki season 2 to end right as soon as the Marvels gets ready to come out, because Marvels comes like right after that. And we know the Marvels and Secret Invasions connect because Nick Fury is in the Marvels, and of course Nick Fury is in Secret Invasion. If that is that Nick Fury, because it could be a scroll, but I don't know. We're gonna have to see what they're gonna do with Secret Invasion.
I heard I actually have a leak, but I'm not gonna say it. Who is a scroll? But if it does end up happening, it is gonna be dope as a mug. No lie. I can't lie. Shout out to Reddit. But I'm just gonna let y'all know this. If the twist is what I think, what I saw, I was like, I don't know. They might be back with one. I don't know. But I ain't gonna say anything on that. But overall, like I said, 10 out of 10. I love the Guardians. We all love the Guardians. You know what I'm saying? If y'all, everybody who's seeing this video now, let me know. You know, I'm gonna clip this up. Let me know what you thought of Guardians in the comments below. Again, after this clipped up. But y'all know we got to go right to it, man. After this conversation, before we get into blunt talk, let's give the score real quick. Score. Lighters up. Score.
Yeah, lighters up.
Do.
I already said 10 out of 10. I ain't even got a light on. 10
Perfect
out of 10.
10.
I got to put the flashlight.
Yeah,
Perfect 10, baby.
Perfect 10.
Lighters up. Super marvelous blunts lighters in here, man.